Computers are all around us. From laptop computers, to smartphones, to smartwatches, they're changing the way that we live our lives. But have you ever asked yourself, what exactly is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. The computer sees data as ones and zeros, but it knows how to combine them into much more complex things, such as a photo, movie, website, game, and much more. Computers use a combination of hardware and software. Hardware is any physical part of the computer, which includes the internal components and the external parts like the monitor and keyboard. Software is any set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do, such as a web browser, media player, or word processor. When most people say computer, they're talking about a personal computer. This can be a desktop computer or a laptop, which has basically the same capabilities, but in a more portable package. Personal computers come in a few different styles. The most common type uses the Windows operating system. Macs or Macintosh computers feature the Mac OS operating system, while Chromebooks run on Chrome OS. Smartphones and other mobile devices mostly use the iOS or Android operating systems. We'll talk more about operating systems in a later video. Computers come in many other shapes and sizes. TVs, game consoles, and even appliances like refrigerators can have built-in computers, although they may not do everything a desktop or a laptop can. There's another type of computer that plays an important role in our lives: servers. A server sends information to other computers on a network. In fact, every time you use the internet, web servers deliver the web pages that you want to see to your computer. Servers are also used in many offices to store and share files. As you can see, there are many types of computers out there, and each one plays a part in our modern world.
Microcomputers they are made of microprocessor chip as the main data processing unit. Yes, they are made of microprocessor chip. That is one of the reasons why they are actually called microcomputers. That is one of the reasons why PC and laptop is classified under microcomputers. Now, microcomputers are also known as single board computers. Single board computers. What does that mean? It means that it is just made of one engine that looks like a board. I'll post the image for you to see what it looks like. It's actually, we call it motherboard. We call it motherboard. If you check a PC, you check a laptop, you see one panel inside. That thing is called motherboard. That is why your course material says microcomputers are also known as single board computers. They are not like those mainframe that has many engines and different kind of parts in it. Microcomputer only have one single board in it. That is another reason why it's called microcomputer. Now, in case you don't know where I'm reading from, I'm reading from and explaining. I'm reading from GST103. GST103, Fundamentals of Computer. GST103. GST103. That's where I'm reading from, and that's what that's the one I'm explaining right now. Page 29. Page 29. GST103. Page 29. Microcomputer. That is one of the key. That's one of the area of concentration. For your exam. That's one of the topics you need to get familiar with for exam. That's most of the questions you'll be seeing in your GST 103 exam is microcomputer. What is the parts, different kind of parts. They'll be asking you what is the keyboard, the functions, what is this, what is CPU, what are the types of computers under microcomputers, what exactly is the functions, and different kind of question based on microcomputers. Your examiners will be focusing on microcomputers because that's the one that they want you to get familiar with. You're not just studying your course, whatever course you are studying. You're not just studying mass communication or studying accountancy or studying whatever course it is. You're also studying to also um, be skillful in the use of computer. Yes, you're studying to be a graduate. When you graduate and you have knowledge about you have knowledge of your course of study, whatever course you studied. And the second thing you need to have is the knowledge of computer. You can't operate a computer. You don't have knowledge of computer. There's no way you can work in the office as a graduate. So that is why this course is actually part of your course course lineup. GST103. It's trying to teach you what computer is all about, how to use computer, different types of computer, so that when you are employed in an office, as a graduate, you'll be able to operate computer. You'll be able to use it to work. So that is why GST 103 exposes you to the parts of computer. You don't know the parts. If you don't know the parts, there's no way you'll be able to operate it properly. If something is wrong, you won't even know where to look at. For example, if you don't know what the CPU is, you'll just be looking at the monitor, expecting it to come on. When you turn on the monitor, for example, you can't expect the CPU to also come up. There's no way, it doesn't work that way. So that's why you are exposed to the different parts of a computer, so that when you are given when a computer is allocated to you in your office, you will be able to operate it properly. You will know that okay, the monitor is actually separate from the CPU. If you want the computer if you want to use the computer, you have to turn on the monitor, number one. Then you also have to turn on the CPU. But if you don't know the CPU, if you don't know what the CPU is, how will you even cope? Okay, you know the CPU. Do you know the keyboard? Do you know the keyboard? Do you know the functions? How will you operate it? So that is why this GST 103, fundamentals of computer, exposes you to, the basics of computer. What that fundamental mean is, basics, the simple things of computer, the basic things you should know, the primary things you should know about a computer, so that you can operate it, properly. So that is why your course material began with. That's why your course material is focusing on microcomputer, because that's the one you will use as a graduate, to work in the office. If you study accountancy, for example, or if you study accounting, you definitely need computer to. You need to use it to, create balance sheets, tabulate the company account, store, store financial records, prepare whatever financial statement that the company requires. You also need it to process salaries and different kind of accounting accounting works. If you're studying mass communication, you need to know computer. You have to use computer in the office to write articles, to edit news, to prepare a presentation. If you aim to be a presenter, there's a need for you to know how to use computer to even record presentations, store bulletins and different kind of communication items. If you are studying which other course you are studying, business administration, you have to use computer in the office to manage inventories, collate names and different kind of information. You have to process information. You have to communicate with clients and customers of the company via email. You have to send email. You have to type documents. You have to write proposals and different kind of things you need it for to be efficient. Also, if you're studying criminology, you also need computer to process evidence, to process written evidence. You need it to write statements. You need it to compile and to write reports. You need it to carry out investigation on the internet and compare and contrast information. You will need it to process data. So computer is important for every student and every graduate, no matter the course you are studying. If you can't use computer, there's no way you will be you won't be employable. You won't companies won't be able to employ you. That is actually one of the issues that a lot of graduates are facing today. A lot of them cannot really operate a computer properly. You can't operate a computer properly. It is true that they are graduates and they are good in their courses, but when it comes to computer, it may not be good at that. So for you to be employable, you need to be competent. You need to be familiar with computer, not just the practical aspect, but also the theories. You should know the theories. The theories, for example, are what is made of. Is it made up of a micro processor chip, or is it made up of mainframe parts, or is it a PC? Is it a laptop? If it's overheating, what exactly are you supposed to look at? What and how can you handle your computer in a careful way in order not to damage the motherboard? Different kind of things. So that is why GST103 is very important.